Hello and welcome to another episode of Rescues Reviews. We got a really exciting one today. We're going to be ranking every scale Hatsune Miku figure. This isn't actually a scale, this is just a prize figure that we had available. Put that aside, because I don't want it in front of me the whole time. So, what does ranking every scale of Hatsune Miku mean? Obviously, we can't rank every single Hatsune Miku figure because this video would just be too long and I would also go crazy. I already kind of went crazy looking at nothing but Miku for weeks when I was organizing this list. Obviously this is going to be my opinion. I have some biases. You probably, if you watch the channel enough, you know some things I don't like in figures already, and those figures will rank lower. Some of these figures are pretty old and figures have just gotten better with time, so they're also not going to do very well. I'm sorry if I insult your figure if it's very low, but at the end of the day it's just my opinion and this is just for fun. So don't worry about too much about where I place things. And the metrics I'm ranking this by are basically vibes. I've decided at the end of the day. I thought of doing some price versus quality kind of scale, but I think that's a little weird, and also I think I contradicted myself a bit on it. There is one figure that I will be ranking lower just for its price, but that's just it's an extreme example, let's say. And we're gonna try to go through these pretty quickly, especially the ones in the middle where I'm kind of indifferent, don't have a lot to say. So the middle will go fast and the bottom and the top will be a bit slower, as you'd imagine from the list. If you ever made a list of this big and you start getting the middle ones be kind of blend together. So I'd pay more attention to the ranks in the top and the bottom than the middle. Okay, let's get this started off with the bottom tier. So as I said, a lot of these figures are older in the bottom tier, but there's some new figures here too that have managed to climb all their way down to the bottom. And we're going to start us off at number 158. This figure is not even actually out yet. Wei Lai Ji Lei version Hatsune Miku 1/6 scale by A Dimension. This figure doesn't look super bad when it comes to like the stage and the design and the stand and pretty much everything except the face. The face looks like an AI created child and I find it very creepy. And that's why I have it all the way down here. This figure is probably more like in the 30s or 40s when it comes to everything else but the face. The face is just terrible. I hate it. It just looks bad and I think it's creepy. So that's why this one ended up at number 158, the bottom scale in our ranking. Up next we have number 157. Moe Core Plus number 39 and Core Package 1/6 scale. This is an old one, release date May 2010. But to be honest, I think there's better figures in 2010 than this. I don't even think the age is the reason for how bad this is. It's just not a lot going on. It's very simple. Look how bad the hair mold looks. It's just one giant hunk of plastic with no shape or form. It's not good. It still looks like Miku, and the face is fine, but this is just the bottom of the barrel when it comes to basic Hatsune Miku look figure. I like the pose a bit. It's kind of cute. She's kind of doing her pose that she had back in the day, but not a fan. And up next we have number 156, Cheerful Japan Cheerful version 1/8 scale. Release date September 2012, had a re-release in December 2016. By Good Smile, and you can get it for about $100. This figure has a lot of things I don't like going for it. The structural integrity, it's hard to see in this image, but there's a lot of weird pegs and stuff going on in this figure. So like the hair is being held to the legs on both sides. I think it's also being held to the front of her stomach. I don't like the angle. I hate how I think she's kind of weirdly skinny in this one also. The hair model is a lot better than the last one. I think the face is bad. Face is just old anime figure face kind of problems. The pom-poms look like the spaghetti Play-Doh that you put through, you have like a little thing where you put your spaghetti and it becomes like this, your Play-Doh, and it becomes spaghetti. That's what the pom-poms look like. They don't look like pom-poms at all. They're really funny looking. And just the outfit, why, it's just so weird that her chest is showing so much when she's so it's a weird figure to me. I just, it's kind of messed up in its design, and I don't really know what it's doing. The little bass speaker thing is pretty cool. I like that part, but the rest of it, no, just absolutely not. Next is 155 Racing 2010, the Racing Miku 2010 version. We're just going to say Racing for now on. 1/8 scale, release date May 2011, manufacturer Good Smile Company. This one you can get for 8,000 yen. This is a pretty bad image, but this one is long out of print and hard to find good images of. But frankly, I don't like her face at all. I think it's really ugly. And this era of Racing Miku figure, you're going to see a few of them that look like this. I'm not a big fan of this outfit. I think it's just not quite there for me. She's supposed to be like a pit stop mechanic kind of deal, but I just don't like the colors. I don't like the shine on the outfit, and I just hate her face. It's just not good. But I do like, it's a cool concept at the very least, and they were trying to learn with these early Racing Mikus, and they got better as they went on. Up next we have number 154, a pen version 1/8 scale, release date November 2011, manufacturer Max Factory, and you get it for about 7,000 yen. So this one's old. At least it was trying to do something back 14 years ago, but the face looks terrible. The outfit is not great. The hair sculpt is okay. I also almost wonder the structural integrity of that hair, because it has so much weight going into nowhere. And I think that's kind of why this stand has to be how it is. I don't like the look of the stand. It just doesn't really end up looking like anything. Like, I know what they're trying to go for, but it doesn't. Is it a speaker system? Is it one of those weird pods? I don't know. I do like the little belt she has going on there, and the coloring is pretty good, but just not a good figure, and a horrendous looking stand. Okay, and next we have number 153, Abada Risa version 1/7 scale, released September 2015 by Max Factory for about 20,000 yen. There's some things I like going on in this figure. I like the big jewel she's sitting on, or ruby. I like the stockings with the music notes. I like her shoes. And I kind of like the color of the hair. I think the sculpt of the hair is quite bad. Or sorry, quite good is what I meant to say, especially for 2015. I like all the bells, and I just kind of like this outfit. Like, it's kind of like, I don't know what a Bada Risa is, but I kind of like, it's kind of got like an Alice in Wonderland look to it. But the problem is the face. This is just one of the worst faces. I think it might be my least favorite face, maybe next to the Racing Miku that was at the bottom. But yeah, just a bad face issue. That's all that's going on. Bad face is one of the number one reasons you don't buy a figure, right? If you can't jive with the face. And speaking of bad faces, we have Racing 2012 version, 1/7 scale. Release date September 2013 by Dragon Toy and Freeing, and it's about 12,000 yen. So I really like the hair on this figure. The hair is starting to get better once you get into the 2012s. What I don't like about the hair is that they have to hold it up with stands. You'd probably know my feeling, read the stands, and they don't look elegant. They're not even clear like they would do these days. I like her leggings with the black and white. I kind of like the outfit a bit. I don't really like the part in the middle with the blue mesh. Not my biggest fan, but I like the rest of what's going on. And she's got that little accessory on top. She's kind of got this robot thing going on, but she's also still got the racing thing going on. And then you got the flag, which is opposite colors of what her outfit is, which is cool. But the problem is the face. This is another one where just the face. So it's the face plus the hair stands that really bring this one down. She just doesn't look good at all. Number 151, CM version 1/8 scale, release date November 2009, manufacturer Good Smile Company, price 4,000 yen. This is a figure that is not bad. It's just so unremarkable that there is figures above it that I dislike more. But this one is so unbelievably unremarkable that I can't believe it's a scale figure. The hair has the same problem as the other Miku at the bottom, but maybe a little bit better. It doesn't look as chunky. Has eyes closed. I don't like eyes closed on figures. But it's just her classic design. This is very simple. It's probably one of the first Miku figures ever. We're going to go up from here when it comes to the Miku figures, but this one's not terrible. It's just extremely, extremely basic. And then we have one that's actually, this one proves me wrong. This one is earlier than the one above it. Her eyes are open, which is a big step up, and she's got the exact same hair. If you look here, they just they added a few more lines to accentuate the inside of the hair. So they downgraded when they went to the other one. But yeah, her eyes are open, which does a lot more for the character. This one was re-released for a few times, so this is probably one of the standout Miku figures for a while, and this is kind of right around when Miku came out. So you can probably get this still to this day pre-owned pretty easily. But yeah, this is just the same as the last one, just, you know, we've come a long way from this, but not bad for 2008. Up next we have number 149, HSP version 1/7 scale. Release date April 2012 by Max Factory for about 7,400 yen. This one has got more stuff going on for it than the other ones. I don't like the whole idea of it. I don't like this particular way they went to do chibi design. Her face is very like square. I like her guitar. I like the little guy down there that seems to be a power source for the guitar. But again, her hair is held up by stands. Bad. At least they're clear this time, so it's not as intrusive, but that's just not good. And I think the hair kind of looks bad. It's like glossy in the way I don't like, and chunky also. One of my cats is crying. Sorry. What's wrong? Come here. Come here. There you go. Smallpaw, what do you think of this figure? What do you think? You like it? Okay, you can go now. So yeah, not much to say about this one. It's just not very good, but it's the figures are starting to get a little bit better. So we're out of the worst tier, and now we're kind of into the bad tier. There's a lot of these, and we'll get through them. Some of these figures in this tier are like ambitious, but didn't quite get there, or just outdated. They kind of fall into one of those two tiers, or they have an ugly face. So this is another one I'll say is kind of outdated, is number 148, lap type version 1/8 scale. Just insert Miku before I say any of these figure names. Came out August 2011 for Good Smile, from Good Smile Company for 5,500 yen. So yeah, this is another typical Miku figure. Her hair is not held up by stands. She's got some glasses for people who like that. I think she looks a little childish for me. I don't really quite like the look of it. I don't like the outfit either that much. I'd rather she just had her regular outfit with the glasses. But I like the head accessory, and it's just, you know, looks a little bit better than the others. The face is fine. It's not terrible. She's got painted nails. She's got the mic that looks pretty decent. The hair is starting to look better. So that it's a little bit of a step up, but not by much. Up next, we have number 147, Sepang Racing 2013 version, 1/8 scale, manufacturer, freeing on April 2015 for about 11,000 yen. So this figure has some really good things going for it, but when it comes down to it, I don't like this design. It just doesn't look like Miku to me. And I might contradict myself later with another Miku that they have, but yeah, it doesn't look remotely like Miku to me, and I think that's quite the detriment. And I don't like the design of the character that it is, because it's not Miku. I think the stand is really ugly. I don't really like the effect they're going for with this glass shard wings. It's like a worse Flandre. And I think, yeah, when it comes down to it, I don't like the design. This figure is probably a lot better than some other figures ahead of it, but I just don't jive with this design at all. So yeah, that's why it's all the way down here. Up next we have Type 2020 version 1/7 scale. Release date April 2014. By Max Factory for about 11,000 yen. This is a figure that has some better things going for it than the ones before it. The hair looks cool. It kind of has like a cool effect going on. The outfit is very like Princess Tutu. It looks very nice. I like the fur, the like ruffles and feathers everywhere, and the little bows and the blue and the black. But the face is atrocious. Frankly, the face is just not good at all. So, and I don't really like the part of her hair right by her head. Also, it doesn't look great to me. So that's why it's down here. It's just another unfortunate face victim. Okay, we have Racing number 145, Racing 2017 version, the 1/1 scale. So this guy is a big one, but no, actually, it's not a big one because she's a fairy, and that's what they do with fairy scales, is they call them 1/1s, but then they're the size of a 1/7 or a 1/8. You have no idea. You have to look at the measurements because it's a fairy. You see that a lot in figures, and I get why they do it. It's like a Gundam is a 1/256 scale figure, but like, come on, just be normal. Release date August 2018 by Amakuni for about 13,000 yen. So this one is got some things going for it again. I like the hair, the way it like twirls off and changes colors. I like that she's a little fairy with her flower. I like the design of this Good Smile racing outfit with the greens, and the wings are pretty cute. I think they're a better version of the Good Smile Sapong one we saw before. I don't like the angle at all. It's one of those figures that I think is just gonna fall over with time. You can see there's a peg on her right foot and her left foot right there, and it's kind of bent in like an unnatural way because they're trying to make her seem like she's flying, but flying figures always have this problem where you have to make some kind of concession with the flying effect unless you're like a total wizard. And I think her face is really bad. It just looks as bad as some of the 2011, 2012 ones all the way in 2017. So that's why this one got dragged all the way down here. I don't think it's horrendous though. And then kind of in the same vein, this is the same design, the Racing 2017 version at number 144. Same company, came out within a month of each other for about the same price. I like this one a bit more when it comes to like the pose. I will say in this one the wings look worse. I don't know if it's just the angle, but they look really fake here. The design on the back looks like just doesn't have any like elevation to it. It just looks so flat. Or texture is what I was looking for. Thank you. I like her little leg band there. It's really cute. I like the stockings with all the logos. Her foot is still kind of bent in a weird way that I don't like, and it's just a kind of a clear plastic stand. But again, her face sucks. And this one's just a little bit more of like, you don't have to worry about the structural integrity. This is why it ended up about the other one. Okay, up next, we have number 143, Racing 2012 version, 1/8 scale. This was released September 2013 by Good Smile, and it is 8,000 yen. This is just a cheap, simple, old figure that, for the time, it was kind of doing something a bit different. It does have that mesh racing Miku design of 2012, but with more silvers than whites in the previous one. The hair is a little bit... The hair sculpt is a little all over the place, and it doesn't look as good as future hair sculpts. I feel like it's a little scantily clad for how her face looks. I do like how the face looks, but it just doesn't match with the rest of the figure for me. And the stand is really ugly, and it's also one of those ones that is only held up by a single peg and probably has a lot of weight coming towards the back because of the hair. So you're worried about the structural integrity in the long run. But yeah, there's a lot more Racing Mikus to go. And then we have Racing 2011 version 1/8 scale coming in at number 142 Release date November 2012 by Good Smile Company. This one's 8,000 yen. This one I like more than the others so far because it's got like a different, more mature design going on. I like the little dotted mesh at the front of her outfit. I like the stockings, especially up at the top of the leg. I like her hair a bit. I don't like her face. Her face is really bad. I think whatever paraphernalia there she has, I think it's a parasol. Maybe it's a racing thing. I can't even tell what it is, which is not... Maybe it's on me, but it just doesn't look good. And just the top of the hair when it comes into her head looks really bad. I think it starts to look better as it separates and goes down. But we just these old hair sculpts are just a bit rough. They didn't quite figure out how to do really good hair in figures yet. But yeah, and the face in this one just really doesn't do it for me. But I do like that they went for a different design here. Okay, up next we have 141, My Dear Bunny version, 1/4 scale. Alright, I gotta address one of my biases. I think freeing figures are really boring. Maybe this freeing figure shouldn't be at the bottom of all the freeing figures. Maybe I should have put this one up. But these are 1/4 scale, so they're gigantic. They're like about the, you know, way bigger than this prize figure bunny girl. I kind of think like these do the job for me when I want like a bunny girl, and the kind of like the giant freeing figures are just not my favorite. As I've come to review them, I realize I do have a bias against them, and that becomes very evident in this list. I think this figure probably deserves to be much higher, but it's got a cute dress, she's got like a cute face, but it's just the constant like, oh, they all have this stockings, exact same fishnet stockings. They all just don't do a lot. Anyways, we'll go on this figure's merits. I think this figure is pretty cute. I don't like the yellow at all. I don't like, it's kind of like a bunny girl ears, but it's like almost like a fox ears. I can't really tell. It says bunny, but it don't really look like bunny ears to me. Especially, I don't know why they went with that weird like yellow into red there. The hair sculpt looks really good. It looks a lot better than a lot of the other hair sculpts we've looked at so far, just because it's so much newer. And I like the outfit. I just don't like yellow on black very much. I might come to contradict myself with that either. And it's just a very plain stand because freeing puts zero effort into stands. But yeah, here's my freeing bias coming into the forefront. All right, this one is another figure where it probably deserves to be a bit higher. I just don't really like the design they went for, but I think it does look good. It's just not for me. I like her outfit. I like the pose. It is a 1/10, so it's very small. So I feel like this would have worked better as a 1/7. But anyways, this is Magical Mirai 2015 version, released June 2016 by Max Factory. It's about 8,000 yen. So yeah, I do like the outfit. It's cute. It's not really my favorite. I like the little mic she has. It's a different design than the rest of the mics that they went for. Her hair sculpt is pretty bad, to be honest, especially for 2015. Not a lot to say about that one. I just don't jive with it. Sometimes you just don't jive with it. Up next we have just basic Snow Miku 1/4 by Freeing. You know, came out in July 2016, had a re-release September 2024. Manufacturer Freeing, obviously, and it was pretty expensive for the time at 25,000 yen, and it went up a little bit over time to 27,000. The figure doesn't look terrible. I don't like her face very much. The stand is ugly, and her hair looks really nice, especially for 2016. Although the closer to the head, it looks worse, as most of these old figures look. But this is your vanilla ice cream Snow Miku. There are better Snow Mikus. I think the nendoroids look better. I think some of the scales look better. They're just more imaginative. This is the first one, right? Or if it's not the first one, it's the first freeing one. I do like the metallic looking stockings though. They're nice. Up next we have number 138, Nijigen Dream Fever version, 1/7 scale, released January 2017 by Alphamax for about 13,000 yen. Okay, my problem with this figure is the base mostly, and kind of like the washed outness of the figure. Her face kind of gets lost in the colors of the ribbons around her hair. I also don't like the sculpt of her hair. It kind of looks like, again, like spaghetti or like pasta. It's just not very detailed. It's very thin, very, you know, not a really good sculpt on the hair. I think the outfit is cute to some degrees, but it looks very flat. All this figure just kind of just falls flat for me. It's nothing jumps out except the horrendous looking stand, which just looks like, I don't know, looks like a decoration that would be outside of like a space themed arcade place you'd see in Toy Story 1. And I don't like the face. So yeah, this one, and the weird square armbands, I don't like those either. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this one. Number 137th, we have the S-style swimsuit version, 1/12 scale. I think when you're calling a scale a 1/12, it shouldn't be a scale anymore, but whatever. June 2016 by Freeing for 3,000 yen. I kind of like the look she has on her face, like she's very smug, but this is just Miku in a bathing suit by Freeing with a bad stand, a mediocre pose, and a bad hair sculpt. It's just completely forgettable as they come, and that's kind of why she's ended up in the middle of bad here. Up next, we have number 136, Neko Mimi headphone version, 1/7 scale by Furyu, released June 2022 for 20,000 yen. Alright, this is a combination of things. It has the same ring effect from the figure we saw 2 places ago, but a little bit better. I like what they're going for with the stand. It's kind of like this music thing. It reminds me of like Japanese indoor roller coasters. I don't know why that's the first thing I thought of. But she doesn't look like Miku. Her face just does not look like Miku. It looks like a Blue Archive character, and not the Blue Archive character we'll see later. But I don't know. It just doesn't look like Miku at all to me, and that's why it's down here. Even though I think it is pretty competent in other ways. I think some of the stand is ugly. The hair sculpt is nice. I don't like her face, and I don't like her outfit very much. That's not very creative. I do like the cat ear headphones though. Those are cute. Up next, we have number 135, Deep Sea Girl version, 1/8 scale. Release date May 2014. Re-released December 2017 and November 2021. Okay, so I got some personal bias against this one. First off, I think the hair sculpt looks atrocious. I've never liked the design of Deep Sea Girl Miku ever, and I do appreciate that the stand went for stuff back in the time, but I don't think it looks good. This figure came out kind of around when I started taking figures seriously, and also came out a few months before I went to Japan for the first time. I went to Japan for the first time in June or July 2014, I believe, and it was just everywhere. I think they overproduced this figure or something, and you'll just see it everywhere in Japan. You're trying to sort through figure boxes, and there's 13 Deep Sea Girls you have to move aside, and had a giant box at the time. So one of those figures had a giant box, and you got like a 1/8 scale. You're like, oh cool, all this for a 1/8 scale. But that's how it was at the time. I think this figure was good for the time, but we've come a long way, and I think the dressings on it are really ugly. It reminds me of my Kaguya figure from Toho, where it has just kind of a bunch of crap on the stand that I would say the Kaguya is probably worse, but that just kind of interfere with the figure. And then the actual figure itself doesn't look very good either, but that's just my opinion. I've always hated this figure. I just see it everywhere, and you'll see it at anime conventions being sold for $500 in the States. You're like, don't buy Deep Sea Girl for $500. Like, sure hope no one does. Up next is number 134, Racing 2016 Thailand version, 1/8 scale. Released October 2018. We got another Freeing one in our hands for 12,000 yen. Okay, this is another one where I'm just gonna be like, I don't like the design, and that's fine. I like the red with the blue. I don't think the hair sculpt looks particularly good. I don't really like her face, although it is very dynamic. She's very happy. There's just a lot of skin going on in this one. It's not my favorite, as you'll see with some of these racing ones. I do like the Thailand design, is cool, but it's just not for me. Number 133, Japan Tour 2023 Thunderbolt version, 1/7 scale. This is probably the figure that moved up and down the most for me. Okay, so I'll finish. Sorry, May 2025 is when it came out by Design Coco, and it's 45,000 yen. So that first thing is 45,000 yen. The second problem with this figure is it's just like too much. There's too much going on. They went for too many things. The hair is all over the place. I guess they're going for this like electric girl thing, so everything's, but it's just a mess. I like the way everything looks. If you look at every individual piece, it looks pretty okay. Like, oh, these stockings are cute, and these shoes are cute. The guitar is really well done. The outfit, it's got a lot going on. But you have to give credit to this figure is that they're trying to do something. It's just that they maybe needed a better idea and execution. So it's one of those figures that I would say is ambitious, but it fails hard. I think it's more interesting than any freeing figure, but it is also a chaotic mess. I do like the different design they went for her. And this also makes me wish they just made the Pokemon Mikus into figures already. Please. Up next we have number 132, Mikuzukin version, 1/7 scale Miku. May 2015 by Max Factory for 12,000 yen. This one is one of those ones where you put your hand at her neck and you look down and it's like, oh, this figure is really cute in some ways. She's a little thicker than most of the other Mikus. That's cute. I really like her little Red Riding Hood thing. I like the little con pose she's doing, which I can't do very well. There we go. The stand is fine. At least they try something. It's not great. But then you just look at her face and you're like, oh, what's going on with that face? It's just not good. But I think the rest of the figure brings it up for me, so it's not in the very bottom. That face is probably a bottom 20 face. I do like the little fox on top of her, though. That gave her a couple points. And up next we have the number 131, Maybay version, 1/7 scale. Came out June 2016 by Max Factory for 18,000 yen. This is another figure where I appreciate what they're going for, but it kind of looks like a mess, and I hate the pose. This is probably a me issue. I also don't like. Can't tell from just this image, but does this one have another stand, or is it literally just sitting on this tiny stand with this tiny little support? That's gonna fall over. I also don't really know what's going on in the back of her skirt there, and the visual clarity does not help. It's just, you can't really tell what's going on. I do like the color of the hair. I think what this figure is doing, there's just too much going on. It's just a little bit visually messy. Not as bad as the Thunder one, the Thunder Rock one, but it's this one's also not good. Up next we have the Tony version Miku 1/7 scale, March 2011 by Max Factory for 88,000 yen. I think this is a plain, simple stop. The most basic, fine, but bad Miku figure. It is a step up from the figures before it for its hair sculpt, its dynamic pose, but it also has a lot of trappings. It has an ugly stand, it has a weird angle that might not be supported very well, but also has support poles on the hair. So I think this is like a clear, like, 2011 figures are much better than 2010, 2009 figures, and this one shows it. But I still think we have a long way to go. But yeah, still not great compared to what we have in front of it. Up next we have Shingeki no Bahamut Winter Heroine version, 1/8 scale, release date November 2018 by Max Factory for 15,000 yen. This is a figure that I think is got a lot of really strong points to it, but is held back by its face and stand. I think the stand looks atrocious. I get what they're going for. It just doesn't look good. It looks like a pog. But her hair looks nice. I like the gradient of greens and turquoise. Look really nice. The dexterity of this figure worries me with the... I guess it's kind of getting supported by the little red ribbon, the red line, but she's just leaning forward with a lot of hair weight. And it also looks like the stand has like a perch that's as like a support at a 45-degree angle, or I guess that's more like a 30-degree angle. But I worry about this figure's long-term stability with how far forward it's leaning, and I also just think the face is really ugly, and that's the bottom line. The outfit's really cute, the headphones are cute, but just got the bad face. Number 128, coming up next, Racing 2010 version 1/7 scale by Max Factory, August 2023, for 21,000 yen. Alright, this is that design coming up again that I don't like. They've removed the middle part for this one, so you can see her belly. She's a little bit thicker, the hair is looking a little bit nicer, but yeah, I'm just not the fan of this like pose at all. This like look at my armpit, like sexy Miku thing is just not for me, and that's why I have it here. I just don't like the 2010 design at all. Okay, up next we have number 127, World Is Mine version 1/8 scale. Release date March 2013, but they did re-release it recently in 2022. It's by Good Smile Company. Price is 8,000 yen, and then when it was re-released, it went up about 5,000 yen. Probably about the same when you adjust for inflation, or if not a little bit more expensive. But there's a few problems with this figure. So how this figure works is it's kind of like a portrait thing box, and she sits, and the fabric sits inside, and then she sits on top of it. So where do you put this figure is the first place to think. It's not a figure that you want to put in your display cases. This doesn't work. So you have to find creative places for it, and that's those kind of figures I already kind of don't like, when they have these awkward shapes that just don't work in a lot of places. Like, you kind of want to view her from above, so you put her in like the dresser in your room, maybe like if you have a low dresser that you have like a mirror by that you can look down at her. I don't like the face. I think the hair sculpt looks bad because they're trying to, whenever they make these laying down figures, they want the hair to like lay against the fabric nicely. It just doesn't look good. It doesn't look great. I think her hands look like weirdly creepy and long. Yeah, just don't like the design, but I like what they went for. This is definitely a very ambitious one that didn't quite get there again. This is number 126, Miku Expo 2021 online version 1/7 scale. Release date August 2023. Manufacturer Alpha Max, and price about 34,000 yen. This figure is great. When it comes to like a design sense, it's probably one of the best design figures we've seen so far in this list. Like, the hair looks good. I love how spirally and out of control is it. The outfit looks really nice, but I think the design is really stupid. Like, so incredibly stupid, and I don't like it. That's why it's down here at number 126. If I was to not have personal bias and I'm like rating based on like how proficient it is, I'd probably put this like number 35 or 40 or something, but I just hate the design they went for. I think the globe part looks bad because the color they went for, I just don't like it. And this is my opinion. I'm sorry about this one. This is just, don't like the design. Up next we have number 125, the Thailand version, number 1/8 scale. Released April 2016 by Freeing for a flat $100 basically. So this is another line of Freeing figures. I think the closer you look at these Freeing figures, you notice kind of how meh and basic this is. The nails don't look good on her feet. The kind of everything just kind of flat and blends together. I like this design a little bit more than some of the other Racing Miku designs. It's pretty cute. Her face doesn't quite do it for me. I wish there was more going on with the hair. The hair sculpt is just not good. Especially if you look at the back of her hair there, I don't really like how that looks. And it's just just not a lot going on. These Racing Miku figures are not really for me until later on. When there's a Racing Miku I really like coming up, but we won't get to her for a while. Sorry, I should go back and say, at least it's not just a basic stand. It is a very boring looking chair. It barely looks like there's a chair to sit on there, but maybe it's one of those folding ones that you bring to a convention to sit in line at. Up next, we have number 124, Love is War Refined version, 1/8 scale. Release date March 2022 by Good Smile Company for 18,000 yen. The hair sculpt on this one is bad. I'm just gonna say it. I like that they had to go with this like wind thing because she's like yelling from like a tower or something. The colors are really faded. I know they're supposed to be faded, but I don't want a figure with faded colors. I think this is another good idea that doesn't resonate with me personally. I also think the stand looks pretty decent, but it doesn't look like it fits with figures, and it would look really awkward. I also worry about how tall this figure is. For a 1/8 scale, I do like the concept. It's a cool concept, just don't like the design. I think the figure also doesn't look very good. Up next is number 123, Bunny version 1/4 scale. Release date August 2024 by Freeing for 40,000 yen. I know Miku is a canvas, but like this could be anyone. Doesn't matter that it's Miku. She's wearing this like I guess like a card, like a dealer. That's the word you're looking for. She's like a dealer bunny girl. You'd see at like a sketchy gambling house in Japan that you're not supposed to go to. I like how big the tail is on this one, and they do the fishnets and all these 1/4 scales, so that they're just going to be there, and they're always a little bit thicker than usual, but then in their legs, but not their belly or the rest of them. It's only the legs. I don't love her face. I don't love the hair sculpt, especially because it's drooping on the ground. At least there is something going on with this pose. I had this one a lot lower, and I moved it up as I thought about it more. But yeah, these freeing ones just don't excite me. Number 122, V3 version 1/4 scale. V3 is a edition of Miku, I believe. Release date November 2015, re-released July 2021, and re-released again September 2024. And this is freeing. This is another freeing figure that I think looks pretty decent for the time. It's her V3 design looks really nice here with the colors. The hair sculpt has some issues, but it's looking better than most figures of that era for Miku, especially if we look at the 2011, 2012 ones. But again, this is just a very, very basic freeing figure, so that's why it's all the way down here, despite not having anything super wrong about it. The stand looks kind of weird, but whatever. Alright. Up next, we have Chokabuki Kuru wa Kotoba Awase Kagami version 1/7 scale. Release date 2020, June. Manufacturer Good Smile. Price 20,000 yen-ish. Alright, this is another one where I think the figure is somewhat competent. I actually don't like her face very much and the sculpt at the beginning of her hair. I also think some of the accessories look a bit cheap, but this is just a concept I don't jive with. It's very Japanese, it's very traditional, it's looking, but I just, there's too much going on. I don't like the lumpy folds on the fabric at the bottom. I don't like the giant shoes, or I can't remember what those are actually called. And I think this could have done with a stand that brought out the figure. Like, it seems like it's a high concept figure, but then they kind of just gave it a plastic stand. Couldn't they give her like a backdrop or anything? Don't know why they didn't do that. Maybe we would have made this figure pop a lot more. Yeah, but this is just I think her face looks really bad for what the rest of it's going on, and it just kind of ends up being a mess. Although the colors are very nice. So this one's a big pass for me. Up next is the Senbon Sakura version 1/8 scale, number 120. This one should be a bit lower, but I'm just a sucker for the Senbon Sakura design. I really like it. It came out in 2014 by Freeing for 9,000 yen. The hair looks really good. I really like, for 2014 rather. I shouldn't say really good. I like the dynamic pose, but besides that, this is just a basic Senbon Sakura figure. Doesn't got a lot going for it. It's really like what a scales look like maybe back in 2012, maybe not 2014. In 2014 we started to get some good figures. But yeah, this is just another really basic freeing one. You're gonna see a lot of really basic freeing ones. Up next we have number 119, Prisma Wing version 1/4 scale. Release date May 2024, so this is just came out a year ago by Prime One Studio for 80,000 yen. So this is one of the ones where I think the price does matter, because I don't think you're quite getting what you paid for here. The hair sculpt is fine. I like how it's one of the ones that droops on the ground, where I don't think it looks bad once it gets to the ground. I can barely even tell what she's sitting on. It seems to be like either a very, very high-tech gaming chair that I'm very behind on gaming chairs, so who knows what this is what they look like. I don't believe in gaming chairs. Or this is like a pilot of like a starship that she's piloting for some reason. I think she looks cute. I like her face and everything, but I just don't get why this is so expensive. There's just not a lot going on here. And the outfit is like pretty basic. It's not a very exciting looking figure. Stand is cool. Like, definitely one of the cooler stands we've seen so far, but are you paying 40,000 yen for a stand? Because the figure, what are we getting here maybe besides a slightly cuter face than the freeing ones? I don't really know. This one just doesn't hit. Okay, and now we're into the kind of the middle of the road good tier, so we might speed round some of these. But yeah, let's go through. If I have anything big to add, I'll definitely go on a tangent. But alright, number 118, Racing 2016, Team Ukyo version 1/7 scale. Release date June 2018. Manufacturer Max Factory. Price 17,000 yen-ish. I love the hair in this one. It's like the colors everywhere. It starts to just look like ribbon more than hair, which I think is what they were going for. I like the bike outfit. Looks very good. And I like all the accessories. I don't like her face. This is one where I think she just kind of looks a little they caught her on a bad angle. It's just not very cute. And she's got her little tire like that. The stand also kind of sucks. I wish she actually had a bike with her for this one. No, they just gave her the bike. They didn't want to go that hard. They didn't want to make a figure with that big of a budget, and that's kind of a shame. Up next we have the Bistrojo Remix Series version 1/7 scale from October 2020 by Kotobukiya for 17,000 yen. This is I believe this is the My Little Pony ones. I do like the color of the hair a lot. I don't like her face. Just not what I imagine Miku to look like. And I like the guitar. It's cute. I think guitar. Let me count those. Wait, I gotta count those. Yeah, there's 6 strings. Okay, good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, the guitars generally look good on anime figures. They always do a good job with them. The stand is okay. It's got these it really integrates the shoes into the stand very well, so they blend together. She's a little bit thicker, but yeah, just the face doesn't do it for me, and that's why it's here. Up next is the number 1/6 version Miku 1/6 scale. This one figure's not even out yet, 2026, and it's by Kitsune Statue, and the price is 582.50 euro. I do not know what Kitsune Statue is, and maybe it's like a non-Japanese figure maker. Is that why it's in euros? Don't know. Okay, I like everything going on the bottom, besides maybe the plasticky of the like wave notes, the note waves they're on. But I really like the boom box with like the big like stage thing going on with the computer and all that. That's really cool. I think she looks ugly. Like her face just does not look good. This is probably because it's might be a non-Japanese designer or and it might be going for like a more cartoony look. Her eyes are too big. She doesn't look cute. But the rest of the figure is competent. The hair sculpt is not great, but she's got a little bulgy leggies. So there's some good things here. And she's actually got the leak. I haven't seen the leak show up too many times yet. So some good things here, some bad things here. The price is very expensive. You're paying for that stand. That looks really good besides the left and the right. Up next we have the wedding dress version 1/7 scale of Miku from June 2019 by Freeing. This is just a nice looking dress with not a good looking Miku. The hair looks pretty nice, and I like the way the dress looks, and I like the way the legs look. Stand does nothing. Figure her herself does not look good. I think her face looks actively bad. So that's why it's down here with all the other Freeing figures. Up next we have number 114, Greatest Idol version 1/8 scale. Release date June 2016. Manufacturer Good Smile Company for 1111 yen. I like this like really futuristic looking guitar fusion here, whatever. This is some abomination of music, but it looks so cool. Something you'd see in like Macross. I like her red and white stockings. I like her little shoes. Her pose is all right. The fig sculpt on the figure hair is not good, and herself doesn't look great, but it's got some things going for it. Up next we have number 113, Miku Expo Digital Stars 2020 DX version 1/7 scale, released April 2021 by Hobby Stock for 24,000 yen. This Miku looks really cute. I like the design they went for. It's a design that does hit for me. I don't like figures where there's ribbons going off every which way, and I don't really know what's going on with the palette thing behind her, just the color palette. Maybe that's something to do with Miku Expo, but I'm not too sure. I also don't kind of like the coat plus like the top plus like the skirt. They don't really work. There's too much things going on. I wish they'd kind of pick one lane. I don't know why they had to show her. I feel like this figure didn't need to show skin. I feel it kind of lowers the figure for me. And also her shoes look stupid. Up next we have number 12, Orange Blossom version 1/7 scale by Max Factory, released January 2017 for 16,000 yen. I like some of the things this figure goes on. I think the hair, her face and hair sculpt are alright, but I do like the color of her dress. It reminds me of the color of like old Transformers toys, especially like Beast Wars, and that made me very nostalgic. I like her shoes. They got like this futuristic robot thing. She's also got like a something on their back of a ribbon there that's very like Beyblading. That's also on the top of her bow. It's a very standard, cute looking figure with a kind of cool design. I like it. Up next we have number 111, Racing Miku 2022 Tropical version 1/7 scale, released May 2024. 2022 version released May 2024. Manufacturer Max Factory for 20,000 yen. I just like her face a lot more in this figure than the other kind of scantily clad Racing Mikus. And I like the design on her hair. I like the big buns, they're very cute. And I just like, she looks very happy. It's a very nice, more my style than the previous Mikus. But we're not even close to the really good Racing Mikus. Up next we have V4X version 1/8 scale, May 2018 by Good Smile Company for 8,000 yen. If you put Miku figure into an AI generator, this one will come out. It's not a lot bad about it, not a lot good about it. The hair kind of sucks, and that's about it. So yeah, we're gonna move on. Up next we have number 109, Racing 2019 version featuring Anidofu version again, 1/8 scale. Release date August 2021 by Good Smile Racing. Price 14,364. So this is I like the hair a lot with the pink. I don't like her face. It's one of the ones where like the face drags it down a lot, but I like the rest of the outfit. I like the stand is a different color than just the plastic stand. But yeah, face is holding this one back. She's cute though. Then we have number 108, MTV X Hatsune Miku version 1/7 scale. Release date just a couple months ago, February 2025 by Furyu for 25,000 yen. I have no attachment to MTV. I was Canadian. I grew up with much music, and much more music, which is a bit different. But I don't think they incorporated the logo well into this figure. Kind of just looks like a box. I know it's supposed to be like a boom box, but it just doesn't look good. But I think herself looks pretty cute. It's a different design than they usually for. The hair's got the ribbon thing going on where the ribbons go everywhere, but those ribbons are also cords, and that's pretty cool to plug into your amp. Just the box, the amp, I don't really love, and she's pretty basic. Besides, she does look cute though, and I like her face. Up next we have number 107, My Little Pony Bishoujo series version. So 1/7 scale. So I don't know if the one before it was actually My Little Pony or it's just the Bishoujo series, but this one's got a Miku pony. I don't have anything against ponies, but it's got the same kind of face as the other Bishoujo series. I think this one just got a little bit more to offer. You get your little pony pal and the music notes and the kind of like the blue and purple. I really love that color combination. It came out May 2025 by Kotobukiya. The price is 14,000 yen. I think it's pretty cute, but I just don't like this Bishoujo design very much, and that's just on me. Up next we have number 106, Racing 2015 Thailand version, a 1/8 scale. Release date August 2017 by Freeing for 11,000 yen. This is another Racing Miku with not a lot of clothes on, but she looks really happy to be here. I think this is one of the Thailand ones I like the most. It's very dynamic, very simple, but also pretty cheap. So not much to say about the one. The face is still not amazing, but she looks happy. I can't really tell what she's holding. The visual clarity there is not great. Or is that just part of her hand? Not too sure there. Yeah, she's just cute. Maybe if I was to do this list again, I would switch her with Racing Miku that I last had. But no, I would flip her and the one sitting on the chair by Freeing. But you know, when these numbers can kind of blend together when you get to these middle sections. Up next is number 105, Tell Your World version, 1/8 scale. Release date May 2015 by Good Smile for about 10,000 yen. This one's pretty simple. It's got a I like the design of the shirt. I don't like the hair, and I just think it's pretty basic. Not much to say about this one. Just kind of boring. Next we have number 104, version 4 Chinese version, 1/8 scale. Released November 2020 by Good Smile Company for 11,000 yen. For 11,000 yen in 2020, I call this like a budget figure almost, and it doesn't look bad. I don't know why it's what makes it a Chinese version, but it looks good. Oh, I guess what? That's probably exactly what she looks like on the V4 release of Miku that they did in China. That's probably what's going on here. I like the gradient on the hair. The hair sculpt is not amazing, but it's good for 11,000 yen. And it's just cute. Not much to say about this one. Up next is number 103, Racing 2015 version 1/8 scale. August 2016 by Good Smile Company for 12,000 yen, 13,000. This one actually did something with the stand, even though it's not amazing, but it's something. She's a little bit thick in the legs, that's good. And she got I think the best part of this figure is the flag looks great. They really got the wind hitting the flag texture very, very well done. I also kind of like the design of the 2015 version. It's just cute. I like the little crown, futuristic looking crown. They're still going for this robot thing with the Racing Miku in this era. I like the color of the skirt and the gradient on the hair as it goes down. These Racing Mikus are getting better. Her face is not amazing yet though. Next we have number 102, Symphony 2017 version 1/8 scale. Released November 2020 by Good Smile for 14,000 yen. There's some more Symphony Mikus that will be coming up in the future, and I think they are better than this one. This one just it's got a big black dress. It's got a little violin. I don't kind of like the pink here. It doesn't really work for me, and just the colors in general don't work for me. There's a bit too much black, and yeah, it's kind of just a little basic looking. Not my favorite design. Her face doesn't look amazing either. So up next we have this number 101, stylish version, 1/7 scale. Release date December 2023. Manufacturer Kaleidos, and its price is 228 Chinese yuan, I want to say. So this is a really different design on Miku, and I think it's pretty cute actually. It's got the fishnets. I like the shoes. I like the dress to some degree, and I like the hair gradient. I don't like the hair sculpt. It kind of looks a little noodly. And her face, I wish it was I wish she was a bit bigger, you know, in every regard. It seems like she's just kind of tall, and that's it. I think her face could have had more real estate to it. I don't know if that makes sense. It's just kind of very small head. I do like her giant glasses, although they don't look amazing if you look closely at them. But yeah, this is just a cute, cool little different design for her. Even I don't vibe with it entirely. Number 100, I had this one labeled as the Holy Hand Grenade in my in my spreadsheet. It's the 39th Special Day version, 1/7 scale. February 2024. It's release date by Spirit Tail, and the price is 32,000 yen. This is another figure that I think stand has a lot going on. The hair gradient has a lot going on. She's got a lot of cool accessories, but when you kind of take that away, the Miku looks pretty basic and not very exciting. And I also think it kind of is a mess. I wish she was just sitting on her throne. I would have liked the figure a lot more with her like sitting flat on the throne. I don't like that she's kind of like sitting off the side of it. I guess they did it so that they could have more stuff. I don't know. This is a lot of money too, but I just think they could have done some things different to this figure to make it a lot better. But it's sitting at number 100, and there's a lot of things behind it, so it's not terrible. And then we have number 99, so we're in the top 100 now. OX27 Eternal Stream version, 1/4 scale. Release date November 2025 by Good Smile Company for 34,000 yen. So for this one, you're paying for the 1/4 scale. I don't like the way the hair looks. It's kind of like a little too scrappy for me. I do like the reflectiveness and metallicness of the clothing. I don't think her face looks very good. And yeah, that's about it. Like, I do like how all the colors work. And there's a reason they put it on a black image, because it stands out more. But the stand also helping with the metallicness, so everything reflects, so light will shine really nicely on this. Besides that, I think the face is just fine. So it's another one of those figures where it's like a cool concept, but the face isn't very good. Number 98 is VNO2 version 1/8 scale. Release date June 2010 by Max Factory for 12,000 yen. For 12,000 yen, this is pretty cool, but like it's kind of got like this like Xenoblade thing going on, or Xenosaga. Her hair is very big and green. I don't like her face at all, and this design just doesn't do a lot for me. I think it's crazy how much this has going on for 12,000 yen. It's pretty cool. I think the stand is ugly too. Yeah, and she's got those. I've been told they're not called funnels, but whatever that cool accessory there is. But yeah, I just don't jive with this. This one's not for me, but I do appreciate it. Up next, we have number 97 Virtual Popstar version 1/7 scale. This came out January 2024. Is manufactured by Max Factory and is 40,000 yen. This one was much higher on my list originally. What happened was the more I looked at it, the less I liked it. I think herself looks pretty good. There's a lot of like different like textures going on in her dress, but this one has become it becomes a little bit too much visually. I think if it didn't have the weird track around it, it would be a lot better. The track must have to be there for a reason to support things, but I really think it takes away from this figure being excellent. If this track was not here and this figure just was exactly the same with no balls, I think it would be like number 40 or something, because the parts of that stand under there are maybe meant to be hidden. But there's a lot going on in this figure that's really good. I think her face is nice. I think her hair is nice. I think all the different textures going on in her clothing and her different instruments, just a little bit too much, and that big white track looks awful. Up next, we have number 96, Miku with You 2018 version 1/7 scale. Release date December 2019. Manufactured by Fuyu, and for 15,800 yen. This is just a pretty basic but cute Miku. She's going on a little trip. I think there is a better version of a Miku with a traveling case coming up in the future that just has like a better looking face and hair and everything and outfit. But I still like the concept. I'm a big fan of traveling, so I like to see these travel attendant ones. So they're pretty cute. Up next is number 95, Miku with You 2024 version. So these are both Miku with You, 1/7 scale. Release date July 2025, so not out yet. Manufacturing for you and price 25,800 yen. So this is one where it tries to incorporate its support poles into the figure itself. I just kind of don't like what it's going for. It's got like this space thing going on, but also is she like climbing through like a part of her spacecraft or what? I just don't think the accessories look really good. Little guy here is cute, but it's kind of just detracts from Miku herself. I don't think this is like an example of the accessories in the stand not enhancing the figure, but lowering the figure for me. Because I think the figure does look pretty nice. Like her hair sculpt looks nice, her face looks nice, the outfit is very unique. But yeah, everything else going on, I just don't really like it. And up next we have number 94, Racing 2013 version 1 ? Scale. Guess we couldn't find that info. Release date June 2014. Manufacturer Good Smile, and for 9,000 yen. Yeah, I think this Miku is similar to another Racing Miku we saw earlier on, but kind of like from the reverse angle, and I really like this particular version of the 2013 Racing Miku outfit. I think the hair gradients are starting to get a lot better. I like her little crown. It's very simple. Her face looks very nice, especially for 2013. I like the outfit. I like the little skirt. It's just a pretty simple, nice looking Racing Miku. But not going for anything extreme, and definitely not even close to the best Racing Miku. Up next, we got our Miku with You block, 2020 version 1/7 scale. Release date March 2022. Manufacturer Infinity Studio. Price 2550 yen. So this Miku has a really kind of different stand than the rest. They're going for like a water thing. And you got the little Miku with You guy, who I guess that is just what his name is now to me, the Miku with You panda. Coming out of a little clam. And it's got that water stand, but it's a little bit different than the water stands we usually see, where they have like the half beach, half water. I think it's a little bit better. I just kind of like the texture of her dress, and like the hair is a little bit going everywhere. You know what? I would actually probably move this up a few ranks if I was to do this again. I kind of like this one. I don't see a lot really wrong with it. Besides the face is pretty simple. It's one of those ones where the heads are too small again. But maybe I could move this one up a bit if I was to re-rank. This one's cute. Up next we have Symphony number 92 Symphony 2023 version 1/7 scale. Release date December 2025. So not even close to out yet. Good Smile Company for 27,000 yen. There's more Symphony ones coming even after this one. They get really good. So this one has a support stand. They do a good job of hiding it, but it's still there and it doesn't look good. I really like the layers to the dress. It's there. You can count many of theirs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-ish. But obviously it's not actually a layer. They're just a big piece of plastic, I imagine. But I like how the hair just goes to kind of like pure no color. Just becomes just transparent. But yeah, the face is a little meh. The sculpt of the hair is not amazing. And the support pole and the stand bring it back a bit, and there's just better Mikus to come. Up next we have number 91 Chronicle version 1/7 scale, January 2023 by Fu for 22,000 yen. This is another kind of take on basic Miku. She's got a very decent hair sculpt going on, and some different colors, and yeah, she just looks cute. And the stand is done in a way where I don't think there'd be any stability issues, and they do a good job of making it not super stand out by putting it all kind of at one focal point. But yeah, so this one, maybe I'd switch this and this one, but I think the face is a little bit better than number 93. So yeah, just another basic Miku. We're gonna get a lot of basic Mikus in this stretch. Up next we have number 90 Racing 2019 Thailand version 1/7 scale. Release date 2022 by Good Smile Company for 18,000 yen. I'm just gonna get it out of the way fast. I don't like this figure's face. I hate winking figures, and I think her face looks bad. The reason this is up here is just because I really like the hair and the pose and the outfit. It's just very cute. I like the umbrella, and the stand is very basic, but oh well. Just it got some extra points because it's one of the more unique racing Mikus, while still trying to make her as scantily clad as possible. Up next we have another Racing Miku, number 89 Racing 2016 version, 1/8 scale. She's got her knockoff Red Bull there. Release date January 2018. Manufacturer Good Smile Company for 12,000 yen. So yeah, this is that design of Racing Miku that they use a lot again, but she's got more clothes on. I like how the contrast on her stockings between the red and the orange, yellow all going on. I like the little doodards going on. I think it's just kind of like a nice ensemble figure. There's nothing particularly good about it in any area, but it's just got enough going on to put it in the top 100. And then we have number 88 Snow version 1/7 scale. So released 2018 by Good Smile for 13,000 yen. Now we have like an updated version of Snow Miku. This one has got a lot of different patterns on her hair. The hair sculpt isn't amazing. I don't like that she's kind of riding her hair. If you come down to a point, if you follow the hair, she is kind of riding it. So the hair sculpt starts to lose a bit when it gets down to the bottom. The stand is fine, and at least they went for something different. And I like the very metallicness of her outfit. And this is not a bad deal all for 13,000 yen. It's just a better looking Miku, Snow Miku than the last one. And the Snow Miku design is very solid. Very well realized concept. And yeah, but I think we will see Snow Miku one more time, if I'm correct. Number 87 is the 10th anniversary version, 1/7 scale. Release date May 2019 by Good Smile Company for 18,000 yen. This figure has a lot of really nice colors going on. I don't like the face. And I don't like that she's standing in the middle of her, kind of like the culmination of this. It feels like some part of this would break off very easily, but who knows. I like the reflectiveness of her outfit and the metallicness of it. Whenever they do that effect, I really like it. Just the face kind of sucks here, right? They didn't really have the face match the quality of the rest of the figure. And also maybe that bow is a little bit too much, but I do like at least the concept of this one. Up next we have Miku number 86, Miku Expo 2023 VR version, sorry, 1/7 scale. Release date February 2025 by Hobby Stock for 27,000. I think this one is really cute in its design and her face. I love her face in this one. Honestly, I can't really see a reason why I had this at number 86. If I was to do this again, this would probably be a little bit higher. I kind of just really like this one. The hair sculpt's not amazing. It wouldn't go much higher than this, but let's just say I'm mentally putting this at like 60 something, probably. Yeah, just I like this one. It's really cute. Right away, I can tell you I'd put her above this one right away. You know, when you're making these lists, the middle numbers get muddled. Okay, number 85 is Racing 2020 version 1/8 scale. Release date July 2022 by Good Smile Racing. Price 16,800. Not to say I don't like this figure. This is a better version of the pit stop one from all the way like 50 places ago. It's a very basic design, but her face does look cute. The hair, it looks nice, and her outfit is really cute looking. She's got those robot parts, and she actually looks like she's more ready to be a pit stopper this time, rather than the other one who's kind of just holding the pit stop gun for photos. And the stand doesn't look great, but they went for something, so I do appreciate that. But I would put Miku Expo 2020 version over a few more of these in front of her. Number 84 with Sola version 1/7 scale. Release date April 2023. Manufacturer Good Smile Company. Price 21,636. I don't love the hair on this one. It kind of just goes everywhere and becomes goopy and weird looking. I guess that's what they're going for, but it's just not my favorite design. I do like her like half open jacket, or like I guess 3/4 open jacket, and I like her outfit beneath. I like the little phone she's holding, or whatever she's holding there. It looks really cute. I like her face, and I like the stand's reflection of the colors to help everything stand out. But yeah, the hair just is gross looking. Next we have number 83, Heart Hunter version 1/7 scale, March 2018 by Max Factory for 13,000. This one's just a cute little figure. Nothing really stands out a lot. This is just cute Devil Girl with a kind of a reflective material. She's got like slightly thick leggies. She's standing on her little heart, so there's like actually something going on the stand. I wish she had longer hair, but that's just the design they went for, and I like it. Like, it's just a cute little demon girl. Number 18, we have the Sakura Fairy version 1/7 scale. This is a pretty decent figure, brought down by its horrendous support poles. Came out 2021 by Spirit Tail for 17,800 yen. Yeah, the stand looks nice. I like the tree and how she's incorporated into the tree. They just couldn't figure a way to make her hair stand without those stands. And that's kind of just why this one, maybe without these support stands, this figure ends up in the 50s, but it gets docked a few points for the stand. We have number 81, Eevee Mirai version, Racing 2014 version. A lot of versions, 1/7 scale. Release date December 2015 by Max Factory for 14,000 yen. I really like this particular racing Miku design. I think the hair is kind of whatever, but I do like how it looks right around her face. I'd like the asymmetrical design to the leggings, whatever you want to call that part on her leg. It's like a leg pad. I guess it's used for protection, but they forgot to do it on her other side, so you still can't go racing in that. You just burn alive. But I just like it. It's a cool design, and the face maybe isn't super amazing, but I imagine you cannot put that helmet on. And I don't know how she would get that helmet on with all that hair, but oh well. And after that, we have Miku with You 2019 version 1/7 scale, still with the panda guy. Came out December 2020 by Fuyu for about 30,000 yen. This is a cute figure. I think the flowers look a little crappy. I've seen flowers done better in figures. It's just, I guess, maybe the coloring or maybe something. They all look all washed out, and this figure kind of looks washed out, but I think the Miku is very pretty. And the ballerina pose is very nice. And they made it work without a support pole, but maybe the hair is attached to a support pole. I don't know. I like the little angel Miku with You panda guy. It's cute. Nice little figure. And then we have Magical Mirai 10th anniversary version 1/7 scale coming in at 79. Release date August 2023 by Alpha Satellite for 28,800 yen. This one's got a lot going on. It has like these like speaker eye things. But I think it's kind of cute. The face is not my favorite, but all the accessories really come together in a nice way. Maybe this base could have been a different color, but I think they did a decent job on this one. These Magical Mirai ones usually have these like really crazy designs, and this one kind of works. It kind of doesn't look like Miku to some degrees. It reminds me more of like a character from like another idol show, especially with like the hair coming into the middle like that on her. That reminds me of like a Zombieland design or something like that. But I digress. I like what's going on here, and it is very cute. Just not. And the end of that, when the hair twirls there's got to be support stands where we're not seeing, or they're attached to those little pieces down there. Who knows? But maybe just a little bit too much going on. Up next, we have number 78, vintage dress version 1/7 scale. Release date November 2019. Manufacturer Max Factory. Price 15,000. So I think the accessories on this figure look really bad, but I think the rest of the figure looks pretty decent. This might be the exact spot where I swap number 86. It would go good right here. We can swap number 78 and kind of move some things around. But it's just a nice looking. I like the dress that they went for. I like the stockings. I like the arm stockings as well. Yeah, again, the accessories look pretty bad, but you can just leave those out. That's the good thing about accessories on this. Maybe this one down here with the vines is necessary, but who knows? This is a decent looking Miku. Okay, and up next is the number 77 Tony Hiregi Racing version 1/1 scale, because she's a fairy, so it's a 1/1. May 2020 by Good Smile Company Racing for 13,704. I just really like the hair and the dress on this one, especially the bottom layer looks really nice, and I think it fits her very well. I still think the wings look very flat on these fairies they do, but it's a little bit better than the other ones. They have more texture, but not by a lot. And I love the gradient in the hair, and I think her face looks really nice. It's a cute figure. Up next, we have another Symphony 2019 version, number 76. Coming in at number 76 is a 1/8 scale. Release date November 2021 by Good Smile Company for 14,800 yen. This is just, I think we're almost at the exact middle of the list, if not a little bit past it. And this is just an exact middle of the road Miku. Looks nice, not really any complaints. I like how the hair goes into pure transparency. I like that about the Symphony ones and some of the other ones we've seen. Maybe the skirt ruffles are just not quite there. The design doesn't speak to me, and that's kind of where we end up with these figures in the middle. Number 75, Feng Wei. Is that just Feng Wei Dai? Version 1/7 scale. Release date February 2024 by B-Box for, it looks like a lot of money. I'm not too sure. I don't really know how Chinese currency works. For 14,000 yuan. Okay, the effect piece on the bottom looks awful. It happens a lot, but I think you can make water look good. I think we had examples of water looking good before, but it doesn't look good here. But also, she appears to be some kind of like Thumbelina type fairy here. But she's not a 1/1. Why is this one a 1/7? The fairies before a 1/1. It's just they're not thinking about that when they did, but I think she's clearly some kind of like spirit or fairy. But anyways, I like the melty like yellow dress here, and I kind of just like everything about her dress. It's just kind of like the effect piece that really brings this one down. It's a figure that could be a lot better. I also think the hair sculpt is not amazing, and I feel like there's support poles here. I just feel like I can't see them, but there must be. There has to be. Somebody let me know if they have this figure. Up next is number 74, Miku Jianshi version, 1/7 scale. Release date, question mark, question mark, question mark, manufacturer, design Coco, price, question mark, question mark, question mark. I think this figure is really cute. I don't think it looks like Miku at all. And I think that's why it ends up 74. I don't really have a lot of complaints. I think it's a very well realized Jianshi. I kind of wish her talisman was a bit bigger. I know they want to show the face on Jianshi figures, but I also wish that the talismans on Jianshi are supposed to go over their face entirely, at least one side of their face. But I also do think the bandages on her legs don't look like they have a lot of texture. It just looks like they drew on the texture. I wish it felt more natural, but she is cute. Just doesn't look like Miku, and I have a few Jianshi related complaints. Okay, number 73, Miku Expo 10th version, anniversary version, 1/7 scale. Release date 2025. There's no price yet, and it's by Hobby Stock. Yeah, this is just another kind of like good looking Miku. Has some things I don't like, has some things I like. I like the color. I don't super love the hair sculpt. I like the dress, parts of it at the top. I wish they did more to the stockings to be more unique. I don't like that white bandage right around her face and the big triangle, the square, because I think it takes away from the face. But then the stand looks nice. You know, just a middle of the road kind of decent figure. Up next is number 72, Happy 16th birthday version, 1/7 scale. Release date October 2024. Manufacturer Goods Final Company for 26,700 yen. 26,700 yen. This is a really nice looking Miku with kind of like a weird effect going on. I kind of dig it to some degree. It's like it's got no color. It's just this faded design. There's just, you can't really even decipher what it is. I know that you see a book, you can see an easel, you can see some notes, different supplies, but it's cool, but maybe not exactly my thing. But I appreciate what they went for, and I do like the little water droplets that she's standing on, on the stand, even though her foot doesn't actually touch the stand. Up next, we have number 71, Hatsune Miku 1/7 version, 1/7 scale by Prime 1 Studio. Release date August 2023 for 18,800 yen. I like this like wine cooler that she's sitting on. I kind of like the dress. I don't think she super looks like Miku, but that's fine. I like the scarf. Yeah, there's another figure. It's like I like some things about it. Doesn't super look like Miku, besides like the shape of the hair. But the dress is pretty cute and unique. There's not a lot of dresses or the sweater with this color and the skirt with like that design and the stockings. At least they went for a different design here, and I think it kind of works. And I wonder if you can actually open the wine cooler. But yeah, and not a bad price for what you're getting here, not at all. Up next is number 70, the light fairy style version, 1/7 scale. Release date November 2025. Manufacturer is Pony Canyon for 22,600 yen. Yeah, this is another pretty decent Miku. Like, I like the sculpt of the hair. I like the little fairy wings. I think this is a better use of black and gold than some of the previous figures used. I don't really like the pose, but I like the headphones a lot. And I like her face a lot. Her face looks really pretty. But yeah, another decent figure. Okay, my biases are going to come soon. So this is number 69, Racing 2018, Thailand version, 1/8 scale. Released December 2019 by Freeing for 14,000 yen. So I like this Thailand Miku a lot. She's very cute. Again, this is kind of hypocritical. I don't think she looks like Miku very much, but I do think she's cute. So, and this one looks a little bit similar to one later on, which is going to dominate the tops. But yeah, this is just cute. No notes. It's a boring Freeing figure. otherwise, so that's why it's down here at number 69. But just cute design. Look at those eyes. Up next is number 68, Kentaro Yabuki X Osoba version 1/7 scale, released December 2022 by Max Factory for 18,000 yen. This figure, I like how thick her legs are. That's why she made it up high. No. I like her face a lot. She looks very cheerful and happy. I kind of like the weird stand that they went for. It pops out. The little heart on the back of her dress also really pops. It makes you look at that and then look at her legs, which I think is the point. It seems like a phone is like melting into a different dimension. But yeah, I think the outfit doesn't look incredible. They could have, and her hair sculpt doesn't look incredible, but I like the big like Uraraka cuffs she has. They're very cute. Cute little figure. Next we have number 67, back-looking beauty version 1 ? Scale. Release date May 2025, so coming out soon by Good Smile Company for 25,000 yen. Yeah, this is a figure that I think looks like very competent, but I just don't vibe with the design. I like the texture of the dress. I like the hair sculpt, and her face all look very good. It's just, not a design for me. Up next is number 66, the First Dream version 1/8 scale, released March 2021 by Max Factory for 16,000 yen. I don't think this looks like Miku at all, but I think this design is super cute. I think the hair sculpt is unique. You start to see these Miku hair sculpts over and over and over again. This one's got a little bit different of a waviness to it. It's like a little bit more messy. She's a little bit like less in control. She doesn't brush it all the way. I like the little heart in the back. I like her outfit. I like the different colors. It's just, something different for Miku. This is a very cute little figure. Up next we have number 66, NT style casual wear version. We're kind of in a territory where all these figures are really good. So finding bad things to say about them may feel a bit forced, but you gotta justify why I have them above other things and below other things. So this is coming out May 2024. Manufacturer's Good Smile Company. This is 22,727 yen. I like the hair sculpt. I like the face. I like the dress. Like this figure, it just seems competent. Not my design. I wouldn't buy this myself, but it just looks good. Up next we have number 65, Galaxy Live 2020 version 1/7 scale. Release date November 2023. Manufacturer Fuyu. Price 27,000 yen. I just like this Miku's hair a lot. I like her face a lot. I like her outfit. They're just really cute. She has like boosters right by her waist, and those are good. And I always like these Miku stands that kind of like make the colors pop more. And just doing a little. That's like an example of just doing a little bit with your stand. That's doing a lot. Yeah, just nice looking figure. Up next is number 64, Miku Expo 2023 VR Toy Box version 1/7 scale. Release date April 2025, so this month. Designed by Design Coco for price for 17,200 yen. I guess I shouldn't say this month. This probably won't be edited in time for April. I like parts of this figure, and I don't like parts of this figure. And most of that comes down to, I think the idea they're going with the skirt just looks a little bit too circular. I don't know how to say that. It's just, I don't quite like this abrupt middle of this figure. Is just a little bit too much, but I think she herself is very cute. I like the asymmetrical stockings, and she's doing that ballerina thing really cutely. The stand kind of reminds me of the Umamusume stands with that little like pattern and star, but it's very small and circular, which works better with the ballerina effect. And I like her buns. Her buns are very cute. But yeah, just don't really like the middle of the figure. I wish it was a little bit different. All right. Here's my hot take. Number 63, Nihon Ningyo version 1/4 scale. Release date November 2024. Manufacturer Fuyu and Phoenix. Price 180,000 yen. Yes, that's about $2,000. So if I was to disregard the price, I still don't think I'd put this figure much higher. Maybe it would make it to the 30s, just based on design, because I think besides the kimono, it's a good figure. It's definitely not a bad figure. Besides the kimono, it's not great. But these figures, frankly, are just a scam. The prices don't add up. Like, these should cost maybe $1,000, not $2,000. There's a very good video. I think it's done. If I can get the exact name of it, it's like Kohai's Basement or Senpai's Figure Review, something like that. Senpai's Basement. They did a really good video breaking down the Fenix scam, kind of, and we'll put a link into the description for that video that goes over what's wrong with these Fenix figures. But basically, the math doesn't add up. There's some money missing. That what are you paying for here when you compare like what they should cost, which is probably around $800 ish. But they're just charging you this money because they can, and people will buy it to some degree. But yeah, price aside, I think they're fine. Like, yeah, again, I would probably rate it around 30 if it wasn't for my putting it here as an example. But obviously, it looks really nice. Can't pay that much money for a figure that looks like this. And number 62, we have name version, 1/8 scale. I don't think I've ever said version this much in my life. A release date, August 2015. Manufacturer, Good Smile Company for 10,000 yen. And here's a figure for 10,000 yen that I think looks great. I like the little like motors she has on her right. I like her face. These Good Smile Company's racing figures. I guess this is not racing, but it is racing. Never mind, it is racing. They got a really started to get a good look to them. I like how like she's connected to the other parts of her outfit. I like the sculpt of her hair. I just think this figure is really cute. Very simple, very cheap, just good design. Number 61 is the Pick Me Up version 1/7 scale. Released June 2022 by Apex Innovation for 839 Chinese yuan. Again, I have no idea how much money that is, so the price comparison is just lost on me. Probably should have looked that up. But we're not talking about price for this one. I really like the gradient of her hair at the end, where it goes from like blue to yellow to red. That's just a good combo of colors. This is probably the best fairy wings they've done so far. They just look like they have a lot more texture. Also, not a 1/1 scale again. You got that consistency with your fairies. I like the stand a lot. The stand is super cool. It's got like this weird, like, is it a stage? Is she in a computer? No, I can't quite figure it out. Is she like in like a sound program? Because that's what Miku is in. But maybe there's just a bit too much going on. I think the background stand didn't need to be there. The bottom is good enough, but maybe it needs to be there for structural concerns. And I even like that under her transparent skirt, there's more to her dress under there, and you can barely see it, but it's still there. Yeah, just a cute little figure. Up next, we have number 60, Fantasia Witch version 1/8 scale. Release date June 2025, so this comes out soon. About 299 Chinese yuan by Rebos. Yeah, I think this figure just looks really cool. I don't think the hair is doing much, and I don't really like this one little piece connected to the book, but I really like the chuny witch pose. I like the big witch hat. Everyone loves the big witch hat. It's just a lot different than a lot of the other Miku figures going on. At this point, I put a lot of stock into that. I don't think every piece of it looks amazing. I don't think like the outfit is particularly well sculpted. It's just good. This figure is just good and unique when it comes to Miku figures. And I put a lot of stake into this after doing this list. Number 59 is Racing 2021 version 1/7 scale. Release date January 2023 by Good Smile Racing for about 18,000 yen. This is a cute figure with a few drawbacks. It has the support pole of Doom. I like the stand and now the colors. Again, just putting a little bit of color on your stand makes your figure pop. And it really helps with this one. I think the face of this one is decent. The design of the dress and everything is pretty good. I like the hair sculpt. I like the accessories. And I like her pose. Yeah, it's just the support pole holding it back a bit. And maybe just a little bit boring or not as cute as some of the ones in front of it. Number 58, we have Racing 2013 Road 4 Sugo Support version 1/7 scale. Release date August 2022. It's Racing 2013 release date August 2022. It's cool. Manufacturer Good Smile Company. Price 15,273 yen. But yeah, the Racing 2013 design is really good. This is an updated version of that. So you saw some of her earlier. She's got that crown. I just think this is a better version of the ones we got of her previously. I just like this design a lot. I like she got her little umbrella. I like the gradient on the hair with the blues. The crown again is really cute. And yeah, just a better version of the Racing 2013 we got earlier. Up next, we have number 57 Digital Stars 2022 version, 1/7 scale. I like this stand. This is a good stand. It's just a black stand with a bunch of boom boxes on it and amps. Not boom boxes, amps. But it looks great. I like the way she's holding the microphone stand. I like the colors. I don't like her face and hair incredibly much, but I don't think that matters. This figure just has a well-realized concept, and it's just cool. It'd be annoying to put anywhere. There's a bunch of support poles of Doom. There's a lot of problems with this figure. That's why it's down here, but I really dig it. It's also very expensive at 54,000 yen. Now here's the Blue Archive. Number 56, we have Blue Archive version Miku 1/7 scale, who looks less like a Blue Archive character than the Blue Archive one I mentioned earlier. But yeah, this is the Miku I pulled for a bunch in the game and never got, so I'm a little bit salty, but it turns out she wasn't super meta, so it was fine. And also I stopped playing. But it came out in September 2024, manufactured by Max Factory, and price is 26,636 yen. I just think by this virtue of this being Blue Archive, we get a little bit of a different take on Miku. She does look very much like Miku still, by also having some Blue Archive-isms to her, like the big weapon. And yeah, it's just cute. I like the stand to some degree. It doesn't look amazing, but at least it's something. And I just like the different take on her. She's cute. I like her Blue Archive design. Next is Great Tier. If my voice goes, and that means there's gonna be a second video, or a second take rather. All right, number 55, 2023 Chinese New Year version, 1/7 scale. Release date July 2024. Manufacturing Furyu for 30,000 yen. At this point, these figures are great, right? I'm not gonna have many complaints. Maybe a small few nitpicks, but it's gonna come down to design a lot at this point. Cute figure. I like the different take on her hair with the red petals everywhere. I like her purple little dress. I like that she's tending to. I am terrible at plant names. I'm not going to be able to tell you what type of plant that is. But yeah, I just a cute design. Nothing really standing out as bad. I like the big rings she has at the end of her dress. Cute figure. This is one that I do have nitpicks at, but it's a figure I'd put much higher if it didn't have those nitpicks. And I did have this much higher. I think this, when I initially did the list, this was in the top 10. But this is the Magical Mirai 2020 version, 1/7 scale. Release date July 2022. Manufacturer Furyu for price for 22,400 yen. I think she looks great. I love the dress. I love the the use of the colors, the white, the blue, and the pink. I wonder why I like those colors. But the stand in the back with the bells, the more I looked at it, the less I liked it. I would just display her without it. I think if I had this figure, I do like this figure a lot. I think she's really, really cute, and I just love the colors of it. It's very good. But I just, the stand is part of the figure, and I have to review it as part of that. I just think they could have put more effort into the stand, but she looks great. Super cute, but kind of an ugly stand. Number 53 is Magical Mirai 2017 version, 1/7 scale. Came out August 2018 by Furyu. Price 15,800 yen. Looking at this one, I would go. I don't know how this one made it this high. I'm not gonna lie. You know what? I'm gonna make a call. Remember that one I talked about earlier? The. Let's go back and look at her. Ooh. This one. Miku Expo 2023. Officially, if you're watching this video, we're switching her now with this one. Okay, this figure is just kind of, I do like the kind of classic like mic design to her. I like the gradient on the hair, but I don't know why I put it this high. Again, these numbers start to blend together after a while, but mental note, we're gonna switch those two because I like that one a lot more. Last minute edits. There's not a lot going on in this figure. I think the stand is kind of ugly. Up next is number 52, Miku Expo 2019 Taiwan and Hong Kong version, 1/8 scale. Release date March 2021 by Alphamax, and price is 18,800 yen. I like the mic a lot here. The mic looks cool as hell. I like her sleeves. I like the red and the blue and the oranges and the colors in her hair going on. and the little bit of like you know, like the Taiwan and Hong Kong design to it is very like, it's very, very nice. I love this, that stand that's kind of like the blossoming stand standing on again, which is also like the one we saw previously where with the big musical notes, where she's kind of standing on the effect itself. I don't think it looks great if you look at the bottom, but if you look at it with her straight on, it looks a lot better. But yeah, I really liked her outfit, and she's very cute, got a nice face. 51, Lamb Rock Singer 1/7 scale. Release date April 2023. Manufacturer Stronger for 12,000 yen. I'll be real with this one. I don't love the design, but I think it's just so cool and different. That is how it got to number 51. I also think it's competent. I like the little yellow in the hair. I like this weird like antenna she has coming out of her, and she's like kind of got that like FLCL I'm gonna hit you with my guitar thing going on, and I like the pose. It's just a cool, different Miku figure, and when the Mikus all blend together, you like to see ones like this. And I still think it looks like Miku. It's not too much of a departure.